Let's see the next method of asexual reproduction, that is regeneration. In regeneration, the body of the parent organism gets cut, then each part can regenerate and form a whole new organism. You can see this is the main parent and the body of the parent is fragmented and each part is able to develop into a new organism. Okay, this happens because when the body of the organism is getting cut accidentally, then the cells of the cut body part divide rapidly. That is, if this part is cut accidentally, then this part will divide very rapidly, produce a ball of cells which will later on develop into a new organism. Okay, so usually these type of regeneration methods we can see in case of lizard also. Lizard is able to produce its new tail after it cuts its tail whenever it senses that a danger is there. So regeneration can take place in both plants and animals. Hydra is an example of a plant and planaria is an example of an animal which undergoes regeneration. One thing I would like to mention here is that regeneration process, in this the body has got regenerative cells to produce its own type. Okay, but the regenerative cells are not present in all the organisms. Like we believe in human beings, the kidney has the property of regenerating itself. But that regeneration of kidney, because human beings are advanced forms, are not that much developed when compared to the lower organism, because they are not having very complicated part in their body. So we can say that they can regenerate easily. If head is lost, remaining part will be easily formed. But in our case, if head is gone, we cannot think that from the head the remaining part of the body is going to be developed, because every part of the body has got a particular organ located inside it. Fragmentation is somewhat similar to regeneration. In this, what happens is that a multicellular organism you are taking, it breaks up into different fragments and each fragment is able to grow into a new organism. In this what happens, each cell has got the organs that are present, that are required by the plant. For example, you can see each cell has got nucleus, vacuole and cell wall. Chloroplast is also present. Okay, so everything is present inside the cell. So if I remove this cell, it can develop into a new organism. Second cell, it can develop into a new organism. So whatever essentialities are required by one cell is present in the second cell also. These do not consist of regenerative cells like we had seen in the process of regeneration. Now vegetative propagation. This, by the name vegetative, we can understand it is the type of propagation of the plant parts. Okay, so in this you can see that we are vegetatively propagating the plant parts. Here by mistake it is written sexual, it should be asexual reproduction. Vegetative propagation is a method of asexual reproduction in which the propagation is done by the means of roots, stem, rhizomes, bulbs, or you can see the stem here, roots, etc. So let's see into the vegetative propagation in detail. In the plants, the vegetative part is called as the roots, stems, leaves, etc. And reproductive part is the flower. So first let us see the vegetative propagation by stems. In stems, what do you see? That when the parent plant is growing, the stem that is present towards the lower side, because the stem is weak, it will start running parallel to the ground, and the position or the point at which the stem is touching the soil, it starts developing the roots first, and from the roots a new plant is going to develop. For example, the common grass which we see in the school playground, that is the example of the runner. That is, the plant is growing, main parent plant, the one of the stem is running parallel to the ground. At a certain position it will touch the ground, it will develop the roots, and from the roots then the new plant is going to get developed. So this method will be continued as it is. In rhizomes, that is the next method of vegetative propagation, we see that the main parent is there, the stem is growing underground. Some part of the stem moves underground and it starts developing the roots. That is, from the stem itself, the new roots start coming up, and then from here the aerial part will start developing, which is able to pierce back and come up out of the soil. So this is another method, that is underground stem. If I am cutting this part of the stem and planting it separately, this underground part will be able to develop into a new plant. Now let's come to tubers. Tubers, as we see in potato, it is a very common example that these have got eyes. We had seen the potatoes have got eyes, and from these eyes a new plant can be easily developed. So if I am cutting a particular eyes from the potato and planting it in the soil, this will be able to produce into a new plant. This is also an underground stem. Now bulbs. Bulbs means onion, what you see. Actually children, what you see here, that is the yellow portion inside the onion, that is the stem, and this is the fleshy leaves which it is having, which stores the food for the onion. So this is a modification of the stem. The stem is condensed, very small, and it is having leaves which is storing the food. Okay, so these part, if you are going to cut, that is this part, if I am going to cut, then I can develop it into a new plant. That is the bulb from any part if I am cutting, provided I have this stem along with it, it can develop into a roots. Food roots which are capable of producing new plant, that are carrots and beetroots. Okay, so carrots and beetroots, if I am taking small pieces of these roots, these are also capable of producing a new plant. Modified leaves. Now when modified leaves, you can see some plants produce plantlets along the edges of the leaves. You can see small plantlets, very small plantlets that are existing at the edges of the leaf. These plantlets, when they mature, or otherwise also, they can easily fall on the ground, and once they fall on the ground, this particular one plantlet will develop into a new plant. Again it will bear the leaf. This portion which you are seeing, this portion is the leaf, and these are the plantlets which are present along the margin of the leaves. Such type of vegetative propagation you can find in bryophylla. Okay, cactus, when they reach a certain size, they fall off and grow into new plants. Cactus also, this example you can see that, you can see here small buds are present in some varieties of cactus. Okay, so these buds also will fall on the ground and they can develop into a new plant. So this is the modification of the leaf. Now modification of bulbs, already we had seen. Bulb has a reduced stem. You can see the reduced stem here. It is having the roots and it is having the main bud which is present in the center. The fleshy leaves are there which stores the food, and the main bud in the center. This main bud in the center, if I am taking out this part and I am planting it, I can get a new onion. Okay, now artificial method of asexual reproduction, which is mostly used in nurseries, agriculture, orchards, etc., is cutting a small piece of stem from the parent and keeping it in water for some time, and then if you are planting it inside the moist soil, it will develop into a new plant. This we call it as stem cutting. Usually we do it for the rose plant also, isn't it? That is the twig which is at a growing stage. That twig or the part we have to cut, dip it in water for some time, and then plant it inside the moist soil. Grafting process takes place when I require I require one plant which should have the characteristics of two different plants. Suppose this plant I have taken, it has got a characteristic that it produces very beautiful flower, and this plant which I have taken has got the characteristic that it is able to flower within 1 month. Okay, this is having beautiful flowers, but it will produce the flowers in maybe 6 months. This will produce flowers in 1 month, but it require in 1 month, but the flowers are not so pretty. So what I can do, I can take a part of a stem which is having beautiful flowers and the part of the stem which is able to flower soon together. This part I will call it as scion, and this will be called as stalk. Whichever plant is attached to the soil, that is always called as a stalk. I will attach these two parts and I will cover it with a wet cloth. Why I am covering it with a wet cloth? When I cover it with a wet cloth, I am allowing the moisture to be retained in this part. जैसे कट लग जाता है तो इंजरी को हील करने के लिए एक बैंडेज बांधते हैं, उस तरीके से मैंने यहाँ पे एक वेट cotton cloth I am using. After 1 or 2 weeks, the xylem and phloem of both the scion and the stalk will get connected to each other, and this plant, I will see that the new plant has started developing the leaves. Once I ensure that new leaves have started coming up in this plant, I can remove the cloth from there. So this is the method of grafting. Layering is another method of artificial propagation that we will see in the next video.